Right, welcome back everyone into the DC8 walkthrough over here. For those of you guys that are following along, where we left off in the last video is we found admin, a username, and a password here. And we need to figure out what to do with that information at this point. Now, okay, so now what do we need to do? Okay, so let's just going to go on over to the password cracking phase. Now take a look at this over here. Now this is a salted value, not assaulted, assaulted, not assaulted. It's a hash with a salt associated with it, and we need to go ahead and crack it. Now let's go ahead and say how do we identify what the salt is? Okay, some of us are able to take a look at this and say, oh yeah, I know exactly what this is. Okay, no, but there are many algorithms out there, or modes of hashing and modes of encryption that are in implementation today. Windows has NTLM, there's SHA-256, and on top of that, there's various forms of salting. So how do we figure this out? Well, one of the quick, easy ways to use within Kali Linux is hash identifier. Now, hash identifier -identifier will tell you pretty much what a hash value is, or what most likely is it. And no, it did not. This is a liar. Hash ID lied to me. It can't really figure out what that is. No big deal though, because there are other options. If hash identifier can't figure out what kind of hash that you are using, we can just use hash -ID. Okay, we can just use hash ID. It goes up into this open screen. Control-Shift-V. Take a look at that. We have ourselves Drupal 7.x. Well, it makes sense, right? It makes sense that we are using Drupal. Since we are using a Drupal CMS, so it makes perfect sense. All right, so let's go ahead and just put that in the back of our heads here that we're using Drupal. We need to crack these passwords. Now that we know what this password is, we need to crack this password. So let's go ahead and just go to CTF, DC8. All right, so let's go ahead and touch a file called hashes, or let's call it, hashes over here. Touch a file called hashes, and let's nano hashes. Nano hashes, let's put one in here. Okay, C2VF, that is going to be for, okay, so we have two of them. Admin John, okay. You know what, I am completely okay memorizing these two. Admin and John, no big deal. Okay, with everything involved in there. Get rid of that white space, Control-Shift-V, okay. C2VF, CGV7, admin, okay. So let's go ahead and Control-C that. Control-X that, Control-X, save the modified buffer, yes, into the file. Okay, beautiful. All right, so I guess this leads us on over to password cracking, or password cracking section. Now there's multiple ways to crack passwords. The two most common ways, I'm sure you guys have heard of John, Johnny, John the Ripper, Johnny his brother, Hashcat, all those different types of programs. Here we're going to cover two of them. We're going to cover two programs today. One is Hashcat and one is going to be Johnny. Now, I personally love Hashcat. It's my favorite tool. Okay, one of the very first things to do, you know what, to make things nice and cool, let's go ahead and put the help screen on here. Hashcat help. Yeah, no, not Hashchat. Hashcat. I am a tad dyslexic. Hashcat. All right, so here is the Hashcat help menu. It pretty much tells you all the different modes of encryption that it can break. And take a look at this, guys. There are so many over here. Some of these I have never even seen, but the major players I have some passing understanding of. Look at all these different ones, and it's just, I could probably do a 2-hour video on Hashcat's up. But let's not lose sight of the forest for the trees. Or am I even using that right? I'm not even sure. Well, anyways, let's go ahead and use Hashcat here all the way down to the very bottom. all the way down to the very bottom over here in the Hashcat menu, it actually tells you what different types of attacks there are. Now, these are not all the attacks you can use in Hashcat, but these are common ones. Okay, for the most of you guys, if you're watching this video, I'm going to assume that you're not an expert in this field. So I'm going to go ahead and use I guess you can say, the more standard types of password cracking techniques out there, and then later on, I can just refer you guys to this video, and when we can keep on progressively making our skills a little bit more fine-tuned. All right, so the very first thing that I need to do is hashcat, invoke the program itself. Hashcat, invoke the program, -A. Now -A tells me what attack mode are we going to be using. Well, I'm just going to be using a word list or a dictionary file. So it's going to be it's a straight through, okay? Straight through, A0, straight through attack. Attack mode is straight through. M is going to be, what am I attacking? Am I attacking MD5, SHA-256? What am I attacking here? Well, unless you absolutely remember every one of these values over here, you're probably going to find yourself looking down over here. Now we know from the last video that was Drupal 7.x, so we are going to move down this list and look for Drupal. Why did they call it Drupal? Ah, here we go. We have Drupal over here at 7900. Okay, where is our file that we're using? We are actually attacking hashes. Now, notice here that I'm just using the file because I am in the working directory that has this file. If you have this file someplace else, you would need to put home, root, wherever it is, okay? But since it's in my working directory, I won't have to do that. Oh, and by the way, let's just go ahead and press F12, get out of there, 79 hashes. Okay, so we're good over here, hashcat, and then additionally on top of that, now that we have the attack method and the mode that we're attacking and where the actual hashes are stored, we need to show or tell hashcat where the word list is. Now, for those of you guys that are using Kali Linux USR, we're going to be using the rocku.txt. rocku.txt, which is the built-in password list with Kali Linux USR word list, share word list, rocku.txt. Use that. Now, for those of you guys that are using VirtualBox over here, VirtualBox or whatever virtualized environment, you will need to add one more option, which is going to be --force, which will tell Hashcat, hey, this is a virtualized environment, use a CPU. Actually, it doesn't tell it's a virtualized environment. It just says use the CPU instead of a GPU. Since we're in a virtualized environment, we don't have direct access to our GPU. Let's just leave it at that. Okay, you just need to use that. All right, so let's go ahead and press enter over here. It's going to go through some initialization. It will keep on going, and then we will see Hashcat at work. Okay, press once this gets in here, you just press S, and it'll tell you what the status is of how fast, which is this is super slow. Okay, so using a CPU, especially on this kind of hashing algorithm here, Drupal, is going to be fairly slow. All right. Oh. Cool. Well, you know what? This is kind of good. It actually broke it already. Looks like over here we have a broken password. One of them is broken. Okay, so what we're going to do, okay, so I guess we're going to get some bonus tips over here. Okay, so Hashcat. How does Hashcat work? Hashcat actually uses this thing called a pod file. If you ever want to know where your output is, cd hashcat. All right, so in your root directory, your home directory, there's a hashcat.hashcat. Notice that it's .hashcat folder, which means it's a little bit hidden. Type in ls, and there is going to be a hashcat.pod file in there. If you can't hashcat.pod file, we'll take a look at here, C2VF, which is for John, I do believe. This is the password for it. So this was cracked initially using that, and this is the password is turtle. Now, on top of that, for those of you guys, okay, so 1 out of 2 cracked, not bad, 50%. I mean, 50%, right? I mean, statistically speaking, that's pretty good. Okay, one thing that came up for it is, additionally, this is also a telltale sign of why you should always use alphanumeric alphanumeric passwords. Additionally, on top of that, a six-letter password, all lowercase, is laughable at best. As in regards to strength. So basically, what we're saying is at 55 hashes per second, we were able to crack this in no time, pretty much. All right, let's go ahead and quit that. Yeah, admin's still available, but we can go ahead and log in with this particular one. Now, okay, so that's essentially how to use Hashcat for a dictionary attack. If you guys want to know how to use brute force attacks or rule-based or mass-based attacks, let me know, and I will make some time or carve out some time in my schedule make a video on it. All right. All right, so we have Hashcat, or we can also use the word John. Now, John is a lot more simple. Basically, we just need to type in. For those of you guys that are uninitiated, don't really care, you can just type in John hashes over here. John hashes is going to John hashes. Okay, so basically the verbiage to use is John, and whatever the hash, the file that's contained your hashes are. Looks like it already broke that. Let's go ahead and move on over here. And additionally, on top of that, if .hashcat is where the pot file was, the file contained the cracked password, we can also go cd John over here. And guess what? We have a John pot, cat John pot. And looks like additionally on top of that, we have ourselves a cracked password. Cracked password as well. Okay. So let's recap that. Today we learned, in this particular section, we learned how to extract or identify a hash with hash identifier. Oops, let's get out of there. We can identify a hash with hash identifier and also hash ID. Okay. Well, once we identify what that hash was, we used Hashcat. We use Hashcat to crack that password with a word list. And additionally on top of that, John, if you are feeling kind of lazy about it, John will go through the entire process and identify what that hash is and break it for you. Now, some of you guys saying, why would anybody use Hashcat? The reason why I use Hashcat is because I can create more granular password cracking methodologies as opposed to a very generalized password cracking. Now, in terms of running just a dictionary file, there's no reason why not to use John. But however, in Hashcat's defense, it is a lot faster if you have access to your GPU. That is why hackers are always using gaming PCs, because gaming PCs typically have more robust CPUs. Okay, so this will wrap up the video. Next video, we are actually going to focus on logging in to the DC8 server itself, and we are going to discuss a reverse callback script, or remote code execution reverse callback script, and we'll go talk about them, those two on how to utilize hacking. Okay. All right, thanks everyone. Talk to you guys in a little bit.